All right, good morning, everybody. Raise your hand if you've met a farmer, or you know a farmer. Raise your hand if you've ever seen that farmer take a vacation. Exactly, because they basically don't. And that's pretty much what we're here to change. Farmers are constantly working all the time, and they're always checking their crops on a daily basis, where they have to check for pests, diseases, lots of different things. And so they're always having this problem. So they're spending 10, 20% of their time doing this one task. And that's what we're here to change. So we built a camera system that allows farmers to manage their crops automatically 24/7 using AI to take pictures on a daily basis to see pests, diseases, and lots of different plant health issues. So these farmers will be able to check these things on a daily basis, wherever they are, and have a good idea where of the status of their farm at any given time. This farmer can keep an eye on their crops, and our AI models will be able to provide insights for them for many different issues. Currently, our current traction, we have a farm in Plaza Midwood with 100 cameras installed, thanks to Open Broadband for the support on that. We have 100 cameras there taking pictures on a regular basis, and we've tracked many different issues with pest diseases and many different issues. We also won an NC IDEA grant with NC IDEA. We also have a partnership with Cornell University, who is helping with its product development, as well as Microsoft and Google for cloud support programs. Currently, the indoor farming market is massive. There's a $40 billion current market size for indoor farming globally. Indoor farming technology is $15 billion for all different types of technology, and our technology here is Internet of Things farm management, and that's currently at an $8 billion market cap. So a bit more about the actual technology. So these are cameras I just mentioned. So we have 100 cameras in this installation. This is the readout that our cameras get. This is what farmers get for from their phone. So you have the image here, and you can see the temperature, humidity ratings for this for the farm. We will provide suggestions from this platform, and this is how we will be developing the platform going forward. So our current business model, we sell each camera for $275 each, or $17 per camera on a 2-year lease. We also sell hydroponic water quality sensors for $750 each. We're also starting a plant health analysis package starting at $67, and that will be developed as the year goes forward. We also can provide service contracts for long-term maintenance and support for each farm we're with. And our cost of goods is $70, so we have a $205 profit per camera. So very good margins. Up till now, only a few other companies have done this type of thing, and they only sell to the largest farms in the country. So think Plenty, think Bowery Farms, think massive, massive farms. And they are, these massive systems. That's not just not the camera, but an entire massive farm itself. So not just not just the camera. We sell the cameras, they sell the system. So that's the difference. So in terms of that, we are providing cameras to the everyday average farmer, small, medium-sized farmers. They're selling to the big corporate farmers. So that's the big difference. So our competitive advantages, so our builds average between 10 and 50K per build versus them. They have 100K plus per system. Our cameras are much smaller than theirs. Theirs are huge and bulky. Ours are tiny. We have a lot of different partnerships with Microsoft, Cornell, and Google, compatible with lots of different party systems. So API integrations are definitely possible with our systems. And we have a much more community-focused approach. We work with small farmers, we work with universities, we work with agribusinesses of all different types, shapes, and sizes. So just an example, we have a new pilot with Virginia State University that's going to be a 50K build with about 100 cameras inside the greenhouse. We have research trials coming up to identify more use cases for these farms, and the results will be posted to Virginia farmers all across the state. So this farm will be sending this information to the farmers across North Virginia, and they'll be able to see how well this technology is used, and we'll be able to install it on their farms as well. So that's our go-to-market strategy. So we do the trials, the farmers learn about the extensions, we will use our channel partners for distribution, hire and trail sales and installation workforce. We will target the early adopters in Virginia and North Carolina, and word of mouth will do the rest. So my name is Julian Walker. I've been in finance for about 8 years, designing business processes for Wells Fargo, SVB, you name it. So I've been doing indoor farming since 2018, and I got into this because I wanted to see, I had a problem farming, and I wanted to see how to make this much easier for anyone else trying to get into this industry. And my co-founder is Desmond, who invented the cameras and designs and implements them in the farm. So today we're looking for $500K as a pre-seed round. That's for 2 years of financing as we continue to install this within 10 universities across the country. And that will be 500,000 times 10, which is 5 million cameras in just camera sales, and 500K in annual revenue in subscriptions, and potentially even more than that. So thanks for listening, and I'm happy to take questions. Thank you.
Julian, hold on, do I need to do this?
Yes, please.
Do we turn it on? Is that correct? Julian, that was pretty good. You're a good communicator. This is a good message, yeah? Yeah, Julian, you did a good job. I have a couple things I want to say to you. Can you go back to, let me get to my notes, hold on. Hey, that would have been bad. Can you go back to the traction slide? Yeah. So, yeah, so this slide has a lot of good information. What's that? There's a lot of feedback. Yeah, okay. So this slide has a lot of good information. Okay. Do you have any customers?
Yeah. So we have Virginia State coming up, yeah, and we have the Innovation Barn as well that we also work with. So
right.
Yeah.
So to me, if you're pitching for money from professional investors, I would lead with the fact that you have paying customers. Because a lot of people who don't have paying customers will have a slide like this that say lots of good things that are positive but aren't revenue, right? So I would think about that, right? Yeah.
That's why I added the pilot one.
Yeah.
This here to show you that yes, we are.
Yeah, you bet. I would like put that way forward, right? Where because y'all are getting paid for your technology. That's an important thing. Can you go back to the market slide? Yeah. So what's the niche that you're going to use as your on-ramp to that $8 billion market? What's the little spot where you're going to have a big competitive advantage and you can get your first 10 customers? What is that?
Yeah. So like I said, with Virginia State, they are a land-grant university. Sure. And land-grant universities are mainly the ones that are doing agriculture research across the country. There's about 115 different land-grant universities across America, and they all have dozens of greenhouses that they're doing research in. And so what they want now is that they're very competitive. So they want to find new ways to create new research and prove out their research and manage their farms much more effectively. So we see it as a big opportunity in this $8 billion industry to target universities and show them that these camera can be used for research use cases, for education, workforce development, all different types of things.
So if you're pitching for money, which you're about to go do, right? If I were on your team, I would say, let's show that on-ramp to that big market in really clear terms from a go-to-market standpoint, because you just did it, right? I mean, you've got an on-ramp to it. But a lot of times entrepreneurs they say, I can show a big market, well, that's sufficient, right? And it is not sufficient. You have to be able to show a way that you're going to crack into the thing. And I know a ton about land-grant institutions. We had a framed copy of the Moral Act in my house growing up. Right. I know. The things you have, right?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. But I think it would just, because you've got the right information. I just put them together.
Right. Good. Yeah. And I agree with you. I just, for this audience, we want to make sure to keep it short. Oh, yeah. So I have all the information, but I can have that in a more private conversation with anyone else.
You did great. Yeah. I mean, you did great. Kevin,
Yeah, I can take it on next. So I completely agree with the market sizing thing. I was going to say the same thing. Um, Everything you said should be what this pitch is and what's on the slides. I found myself reading a lot when I should have been listening to you, and I was trying to keep up with all the things kind of going on.
You're better than your slides.
Yeah, I would very much agree with that. You mentioned
you are.
You're a good communicator, and that comes off very, very well.
Yeah.
So you know what you're talking about. You're passionate. It comes through the way you started, kind of engaged. It brought us in. That was great. To your point, with these pitches for a larger audience or for an investor, the whole point is to get to the next conversation. You don't have to tell them absolutely everything. You just need to tell them enough to get going. Yeah, it's great to show a big market size. Everybody kind of does that. What we're really thinking about is you have revenue, you've got some traction. Talk about that earlier and talk about how you're going to go do and repeat that over time. And then you had like a go-to-market slide. I think it was like the little graph or the flow chart or whatever it was. That's great. Build in exactly the market that you're going after, how you're going to go do that. Instead of sometimes people put up the business model and they put up pricing and things like that, I actually don't like that as much as I like, hey, this is how we're going to attack this market. We know how to sell this because we've got some traction.
Yeah, because you guys have some good stuff to sell.
Yep.
Like you've got paying customers, you've got an entree into this big market. Let's talk about that, right? Because that was hard to get to, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah, all right, let's sell that. That's what I would do.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
We're not criticizing. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to go in front of professional investors, I think, like, if you lead with that stuff, you'll get better results.
Totally.
Chris,
This is the appetizer, the main course.
go to the main course. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right, Julian, I love the intro and joking about farmers not taking vacation and everything like that. Can you talk a little bit more about that pain point, and not about the missing vacation? I totally get that. But the folks that have the type of capital to have these indoor farming spaces, I assume they have a lot of other people, and it's not as much like land to cover, hypothetically, than an outdoor farm. Can you talk to me about the pain point for those farmers? Do they not have people that can be helping them monitor?
Well, it depends on each farm. Every farm is different, and so the larger farmers or larger corporations, they'll have a large labor force to do this type of work. But even in those instances, those farmers go to work at 8 p.m. and they leave at 5. So it's not like they're there all through midnight and they come back the next morning. So the pest issues and disease issues can occur at any time. So even if they come back at 8 in the morning, they're not a pest issue could happen at 6 o'clock, and you're not going to know about it until you get back into the farm. And that's only for large farms. For smaller farmers, they don't even know until they go back, whenever they go back. So this issue is, you could kind of scale it. The larger farms, they're paying labor, they're paying all these costs to manage these farms, and they're not necessarily watching the farm 24/7. They may be seeing it every 8 hours. That's basically. So that's generally the difference, that you lose a lot of time between when you go to the farm and when you leave, and between then and now, lots of things can happen. So you can lose a crop, just like that.
Interesting.
So.
And would you say, like, the value proposition of what you're doing with the cameras, is it an opportunity for them to save money by not needing as much labor to be doing the monitoring, or is it more so that they're going to have better crops by nature of being able to?
Okay. So you can have these cameras automating your farm management. You won't have to necessarily have as many people on the farm doing that, and they can focus on other tasks. So they can do, harvesting, seeding, anything else. And this system can basically show them where the problems are, so they can focus their time on solving those problems and not necessarily walking the farm every single day, essentially wasting time. So that's one piece. And the other part you said about yield. So that's what we're doing now with these research institutions, is figuring out just how much these cameras will improve the farms over time. So that's the research that we're getting into now. So hope that answers your question.
I had the same exact question that she did, which I think speaks to the presentation of, you started off by talking about, hey, we want to save, we want to get more farmers on vacation and all that. Yeah. Make that connection then to how you're going to do that. I felt like that was missing pretty early on.
Hey, before we wrap up, I have a question. Raise your hand if you agree with this statement. Julian is an awesome communicator, right? Okay, good, right? And raise your hand if you agree with this. I like his message. Yeah, right, okay, good. Julian, you did great. Fewer, tighter slides.
Yep.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. You did great. Way to go, Julian.
Yeah, we go.
And Desmond.